Welcome to the Miscast table. My name is Andre, and with me I have two friends today. And first off is Mr. Beastman, Martin. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm just fine, thank you. Even though it's quite late in the evening.
Yes, it's been a little late. We have been setting up all the tech stuff, and I forget a power cable, so yeah, we are a little bit late.
Yeah.
And the ogre from the north, Jonas.
Yes, just fine. Recovering from all the Christmas treats and dining, eating, being still. So looking forward to some Warhammer content.
Yes. How have you been doing this holiday? So to be perfectly honest, we are, 28th of December is today. So we have been having a Swedish holiday Christmas, or jul.
Yeah. Jul,
Have
juletides.
you been painting some, Martin?
I have been painting some. Though we celebrated Christmas at our house, and when the guests left the house, I went up and started painting again. And right now I'm touching up 2 units of high elves that I forgot in the furthest back of my closet somewhere. Since I'm now moving gaming room. I have 36 archers and 15 swordmasters that I forgot about. They are the wrong color on the arms, like the fluffy parts. It's the wrong color to fit in the army. So
you have like a blue white theme.
Yeah, and I started with a turquoise before and then I forgot that they were done, so they went into the back and I filled it up so much that I didn't see them until recently I'm starting to get finished in my new gaming room. So now it's time to move places.
So high elves for Mr. Beastman.
Yeah.
You been painting anything, Jonas?
I have been trying to. I'm still working on my Demons of Chaos. So I have my blood letters on the painting table. The movement tray needs to be finished before the upcoming tournament. I have the demonettes. And then I'm gonna take on the Skull Taker and 2 Blood Crushers.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think you have the busiest painting table this time.
Yeah, I think so.
You have pretty much a lot of painting to do.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes to show that you guys have been collecting, and Martin is more like committed, like more better discipline than I have at like getting projects done.
Yeah,
so I always get things at the very last moment.
Yeah, I actually learned from Andre. He said the way he gets stuff painted is to have a permanent painting station and have the models on display, so you always see them. So I have one batch of models right up the stairs to the bedroom, and then I have, besides my computer, I have a painting station.
Oh.
So there's always something there. And when I'm sick of playing computer games, I paint for 30 minutes, then I go downstairs or something. So there's always something on the table.
It should take maximum 10 seconds to start painting.
Yeah.
You should have the colors ready. You should always have a clean glass of water. So if you get the urge, you should just go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've been doing some blood nights, and even though I have my painting table, I have it set up. Somehow they're taking much more time than I wished I have. I don't know why. It's like some models you always have that
mental barrier.
It's some mental barrier, and the blood knights, they have a mental barrier.
They have so many details as well. And they are standout units. You want them to look good at the table.
They will look decent, but they just take time. But since the last time, we had a shout out. I don't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before that we have a shout out regarding Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
And I actually got a game in, or a half a game with Tabletop Simulator with one of our US viewers, Niklas, who joined me yesterday, and he showed me how to play and how to use it, and it was very interesting what you can do in Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. I've tried finicking around by myself, but you really need the guide.
Yeah, it was a channel on Discord. Did you remember what the channel was? If anyone
Warhammer Fantasy Discord in the old world or something.
If anyone Warhammer Fantasy Battle and the old
Okay,
world.
and the old world.
If anyone wants to get into Tabletop Simulator, that's a good start. But
It is.
start of the day, we have news. Now we have a small section about what have happened 2023, and then we have some news, and then yes, maybe some small talk about 2024.
Yeah.
And well wishes to everyone that's still watching.
Still watching, yes.
Still watching.
Still watching. Still watching.
Yeah, that have
Always
the watches
watching.
left.
Should we mention the elephant not in the room?
Who?
Yeah,
Who let the dogs out?
Mr. Dark Elf.
Mr. Cheese.
Yeah, he got the Nurgle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Mi-
bit
mi-
under
Mr.
the weather.
Yeah, Mr. Dark Elf, he's bitten by Nurgle, so he's home taking
Yeah.
care of himself.
Hopefully he will make a fast recovery and be back for the next episodes.
I think
Yeah.
he's gonna paint models.
Well,
That's the best cure for everything.
he also he's going on a trip, so maybe we see.
Yeah, some
we see
warmer
like
climate.
warmer
We have
climate
like
for a while.
70 degrees below 0 Celsius for the Americans.
I was thinking about having like a one
17.
piece.
70. Yeah.
Not 70. 17.
17 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's cold.
I don't know the Fahrenheit, but
No,
Fahrenheit
I know.
is a
I know that
higher number.
negative 40 Celsius is negative 40 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Super stupid.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
let's not
le-
get into an argument.
No.
no. The
But
Americans have some things to learn. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. But speaking of 2023, I thought that we would go through during this episode some of the highlights of this past year. And there's been a couple of good episodes and a couple of good events that we have been to and other experiences. So Martin, would you like to tell us and the viewers which army were the most fun you had playing during this last year?
Definitely Skaven.
Skaven.
Without a doubt. They are new to me. We had our competition at the start of the year, but so I started playing Skaven in March something, and now I only want to play Skaven. Like it's so much fun. We actually had a battle, me and Mons 2 weeks ago, that was the swingiest, weirdest game ever, and we recorded everything, but the memory cards got corrupt.
Yeah.
So it's
The
super
same-
bummer.
Wasn't it the same memory card that messed with our last podcast? I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
We shouldn't have used it.
It's
But,
it gone to.
Yeah, one of
Memory
the things
card
that
heaven.
happened was like when the slaves break, they don't run away. They explode. Yeah, and my explosion killed his BSB, and then his white lions got panicked without a reroll and ran into my rat ogres. That was like the 2 of 3 last units I had. It was so swingy.
I want to know what happened, because 2022 we have the Martin that said, "Oh, I have so much Skaven. Who wants to play Skaven? Do anybody want to buy my army? Do you want a Skaven army? Do you want a Skaven army?" And now 2023, Skaven is the best army.
It is the best. It is. It's not the best. It's the most fun to play, in my opinion, at least.
I really like playing against Skaven. It's very fun army
Yeah.
to play against too. So
But that is also your fault, because I was at my parents, and Andre called me, like, "Are you close to this town?" Yeah, like 20 minutes. Okay, I bought a very expensive book,
Tamurkan.
Yeah. So I went to the guy, I called him up, and I said, "I'm gonna pick up the book." And then while I was there, I was looking around, and I was like, "Do you have anything else you want to sell?"
So
And he like,
poke at the arm. You
"Yeah,
got some more stuff? Do you
I need
maybe
more
some
stuff.
plastics?"
I have too much money." But he put all the Skaven on the table, and he gave me a fair price, and I offered a fair price, like $1 a model or something, just because it was a good price. I thought I'd bring it home, see if anyone want to start, and nobody wanted to touch it, because it's like
we
250.
wanted you to paint it.
Yeah, and
be
I
fair-
ended up painting it.
I think Martin was the only one that could have managed it.
Yeah.
I'm on the lookout for 80 or 100 more slaves.
Yes, right.
Yeah, it's true.
I was actually going to ask if you had any plans on expanding on it, because
Yeah. I have.
More Doom wheels, more
Doom wheels, more weapon teams, more slaves, and perhaps even going a full plague army.
Okay, so like the what's it called, the plague furnace and
Plague furnace and plague claw catapult, and you have to have, if you have a special character, you can have the plague monks as core as well.
Okay.
So you can, I think you can go a full plague Skaven.
Okay, so you are on the lookout for certain special characters then.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's kind of fun. Like, did you have any good games with it? Like, you mentioned Mons in particular, but
Yeah, that was like the latest, but I would say that they sometimes punch above their weight, and at least I wouldn't say they win all the time, but when it goes good, it goes really good. Like with Beastman, it's a bit swingy, but with Skaven, it's a lot swingy. You can always shoot your own units, and nothing ends up where you want it to be. But it's super fun.
Yeah. And Andre, you probably have the largest collection out of all of us in the gaming community around here. Maybe Johnny can rival you. But have you had like any? I know that you and Martin undertook a large competition at the start of the year.
That's probably, it's either, I thought about it before, it's either that I painted up the Lizardman army during January, or maybe my experience with Vermintide might be my
best
my Warhammer highlights.
Like
and
the game Vermintide.
Yeah, I had a couple of Vermintide. I played Vermintide 1 and 2 for the first time this year, and we played it from start to finish, a couple of friends. It was actually really fun. And it's either that or painting the Lizardman. Also, we have had a good couple of matches, but I don't think anyone have stood out especially for this year. Probably the Lizardman.
Okay, yeah.
Lizardman. I really liked painting the Lizardman too. So I made them, so I wanted to put as much color as possible. So some is orange, some is purple, some is very blue, some are very green, and all my other armies are in general dark.
But they kind of pop when you look at them.
Yeah.
Like the colors like make you look at certain
They look
details,
nice.
and then you have the large monster units.
I actually started to paint for a long time ago Termagant. What's the it's a 40k army.
Tyranids?
Tyranids. Yeah. I started painting Tyranids in the same kind of manner, that it should be very, very bright colors. But I stopped and sold it. But it was kind of the same colors that I thought to having on that army that I put on Lizardman.
Like huge contrast. But
yeah.
But color theory is one of those things that I kind of wish that I knew. Because when people pick interesting colors and make them like work together, it makes it like you don't need to have the best brush strokes.
But you have that color complementary colors.
Yeah, like but so cold, warm, like you basically need to have a feel for it.
No, you have there's a chart. There's a wheel.
But it's
so
not
if you have that color, you should use the opposite. Done.
Yeah, but it's not like science. Like
that's
straight
science.
Through. It's like feel to it as well. I think, like artistic. Like
I used the color wheel to get because I had a vision about how, since I'm using a lot of speed paints or contrast colors, I had a vision how I wanted the Skaven to look. But when it came to the bases, I was like, I want the base to be totally different, so the models pop out, and I used the wheel.
Okay, you actually use both of you.
Yeah, so just to get the contrast between colors.
Yeah, you can do it wrong too. I was certain that I was going to have purple, and then for some reason I thought that yellow was the complementary color. So I painted an entire unit of purple and yellow, and then I looked at the wheel again, but no, that's wrong. It's not yellow, but I will keep them as that.
It's the riders.
Temple Guard.
But have you tried repainting one model just to compare them, or you don't want to go down that slope?
I don't care.
No, okay.
It's-
Just give up.
I just looked. Okay, it's good enough. Let's go.
Okay.
That's fair.
But we did also get to play some good armies and games at like various events. Do you have any standout moments from those times? Like any specific opponent or match that you thought were really like hard fought or like valiant effort, even though you might have ended up in.
It was like $2 slaget this year, right?
Yeah,
I was on the first, missed the second.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What did I play when I was
Didn't
there?
you play the Chaos Dwarfs?
Was it Chaos Dwarfs? Yeah, then it's the match. If it was Chaos Dwarfs, it was a match against Jimmy. He was from Gävle. He had demons, demons of chaos, and he like failed the 1-up save 2 times in a row. It was delightful.
Okay, relishing in another person's.
Yeah, it's the best kind of happiness.
Okay, did he have the Lord that we discussed on the previous podcast?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure, but
Right.
maybe it's close
think
to. He has like a
Someone's talked about shooting out.
Singe themed army,
Yeah,
and
it's
he
super
has
cool.
he had like a one of them was really powerful.
Wasn't there 2 of those monsters with the things on the back, like the round vortex
Yeah.
something, Mutalith warp
Mutalith
beast
Vortex.
Yeah.
something.
It's a unit that we never seem to get
No.
onto our tables.
I think Monst had one.
Yeah,
Or did
I
you
have it
you
now.
buy? Oh, you
Yeah,
had
I
it.
have.
I
Took
have
it
one
for
too
a
as well,
slaughter
but,
brute.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
2 model kit.
I have one, but it's unpainted. And I don't have a Wars of Chaos army. So.
No.
Do you have any top 2023 moments?
Yeah, like plenty of our battle reports have been really, really fun.
Yeah.
Kind of liked our last game, Chaos Dwarfs versus Wars of Chaos, but highlight was probably when I played against one of the guys at the Summer Dalaslaget tournament. He had this incredibly painted Lizardman army. Really, really friendly person that had looked at our battle reports and just figured that the best way to like learn this game is to watch other people play it, go to tournaments, meet up with people, and then just have like the humble experience of like, I'm probably not gonna win this,
No.
but I'm here to learn, have fun, meet people, and that was a really good interaction, I think.
Was it this year that you got best friendliest player?
Sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship.
Yeah, but
In the spring.
that was with the Ogre, so it wasn't the summer event. It was
The winter.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that must have been pretty.
Yeah, but all of the games, like it's so hard to like top rank,
Yeah, it is.
and more so than like the ceremony. I think that like just playing games is the best experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say one of I had one I don't know how to translate it, tragicomique, like-
Tradical,
yeah,
tradical.
like fun but sad. I played Lizardman as well with is he called Anton, I think?
He had a skink list. a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
he had
skins.
Slan as well,
Yeah.
and I was ranking up 1 charge with a really strong unit, and he chose to flee because he didn't have many models left, so he wanted to conserve the
preserve.
points. Yeah, and then he fled, and then I had another unit that charged as well, so he fled, and the last thing I did was my Harpies, 55 points charged, and made it like in a 18. I think I rolled 10 or 11 or something and caught up with him and destroyed the unit. That was like a strong, vivid memory. But I think the last game of the last tournament, I played I think he was from Poland.
Yeah, the Beastman.
Perhaps.
No,
No,
you
he had a
played the
Slanesh.
Slanesh,
yeah,
yeah.
Keeper of Secrets and so on. And it was so weird to play an army with so different magic. Like he screwed with my movement. Like he moves random instead, and yeah, he just scrambled the board for me, and that was a neat experience. Nothing I've experienced before.
But speaking of tournaments, we have another couple of events upcoming for 2024. Martin, would you like to walk us through some of the games and tournaments that you are planning and building for?
Yeah, and you have to correct me if I'm missing out. I think the order is there is one in Skellefteå, which I can't
It is a friendly
attend.
game.
Yeah. Then the next one should be in 4th of February. The
It's a local
what's-
tournament.
yeah, what's the it's
AI.
Yeah.
AI.
like an artificially generated list.
My name is André Israelsson. So one is André Israelsson. The second
AI.
is AI and
Artificial.
artificial intelligence, and the last one is also artificial
Yeah.
intelligence.
But so that's the first of the year, I would say, and then in the first week of March we are going to Falun, Gävle, somewhere. Dalaslaget,
Borlänge.
Borlänge.
New venue.
Living long.
Try to say that
Yeah.
name if you're not in Sweden. Borlänge.
And then in the beginning of March there is Umeå GT,
Yeah.
the first grand tournament in
Old
the old world.
yeah.
Yeah, which you and Mons are attending at least. I am a pending.
Yeah, and I think that the guy organized it, Linus, also wanted us to mention that the Honest Wargamer is gonna appear there. So yeah, it might
Okay.
be really fun to meet up with them. They've been putting out lots of content regarding the upcoming release of the old world.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's gonna be hard to match their knowledge of the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
beforehand.
I'm planning on going, but I'm not sure I will play.
Yeah,
Most
it's like-
likely I will tag along as a bad guy, some sort. Try. I enjoy like the atmosphere on tournaments. I would like to get some documentation in.
that
of
would be
the-
super fun.
Yeah, and then the next one that we actually booked and pinned is the London GT,
That's also
and
gonna
that's
be
the
really,
end of April.
Yeah.
So we have booked everything except the flights, because it's been Christmas. Nobody
Yeah.
has time for anything.
But
So-
we're all going to.
Yeah, we have-
As long as we are healthy, we will go.
Yeah.
All four of us to
Yeah.
London.
we have
but-
tickets and we have accommodation
Yeah.
ready.
yeah.
So we are going.
Yeah, we just need to finalize the details.
Yeah.
But speaking of details, have you put any thought into what kind of armies that you want to play in the upcoming Old World, Andre? Do you have a main army like in your head?
No, not really. I haven't. I have a lot of armies, so I haven't quite. I think I just gonna have everyone gonna have a go.
Okay.
I'm gonna try all the armies I have once and see
Because I kind
which
of
is
have
most fun.
Yeah, I kind of have two questions regarding that. I know that you have a specific system that you try to utilize when you determine what is the next army that you want to play, like so that you give them all a go when you're like lining up for tournaments, lining up for seasonal play.
Well, the system have been that I should have a new army every time I go to a tournament, and it went fine for 8 tournaments, and now I have enough. So now it's more like if I haven't been to Dalaslaget for example, I have played a couple of armies, but I'm gonna continue playing armies that I haven't played before.
Yeah.
And I would do the same if I were to go to like in Lycksele. There's a couple of tournaments. I try to keep track which armies I have brought to that tournament scene, so that I will bring a new one next. So
So
that's
that's like every time someone meets Andrea, they get a new experience,
hopefully.
new
But,
kind of slice of cheese.
but when you have tried my 8 armies, there's gonna be repetition, because now it takes too much space.
Yeah. So no Beastman armies in the near future.
No Beastman armies. No. If I were to paint any new armies, I would try and paint another scale. So I might even paint the same army, but I would go for a 10mm army instead of 28.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Or like
so
a
you get more
15.
portable.
Yeah.
So you're satisfied with 8 armies?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because after a while, most armies are a little bit alike. So
Yeah.
no, you can't have all armies. Some of them have reminds each other. Like Beastmen and Skaven, they are
Sort of similar.
sort of similar.
Yeah.
And also, if you have a shooting army, it's not necessary to have another
No,
shooting
you
army.
don't want to go chaos dwarfs and dwarfs.
I had no.
No.
That's a great example. Also, like having 3 elves, having high elves, dark elves, and wood elf. He who have that, you are insane, basically, because they are hard to paint and they are okay. Wood elves might be more different, but if you have both high elves and dark elves army, you're insane.
Yeah.
We have one once.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, it has.
Martin, do you have any like main armies lined up for upcoming Old World?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Beastmen again, like
Okay,
where it all
expanding
started. Yeah, because Skaven is gonna be a side quest. It's not lining up in the timeline, sort of, and I want to see where Beastmen ends up in the new edition.
Yeah, like
Because
they're gonna
8th
get.
edition, they're not great.
I think
And
they have some really like some units are very strong and compensates for other units.
Yeah, they do, but they are.
In 8th edition, they are horrible. In Triple Crown and Swedish
Yeah, with the comp systems,
they are better.
Absolutely.
But in basic 8th edition, I mean, Beastman is horrible.
But they still have like the dreaded 13.
No, that's
that's
Skaven.
Skaven.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beastman. Yeah, right.
Beastman,
I
yeah.
thought you meant Skaven.
No,
Sorry.
no. They are like a PDF in the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
old world. So I'm thinking about dusting off the Beastmen again. It's been a while since I played them.
Yeah,
Not
and
too long, but I'm super stoked to see where they end up in the old world.
yeah.
And I want to play. I have a high elves as well, but they're kind of finicky. They're good.
Andre, what did you?
I changed my answer. I'm gonna, even though they aren't with the baseline, I probably might try to get a game with Vampire Counts pretty early, because that was my first army. That was the first army I played, Warhammer's Armies Project. It's kind of been my baseline, so maybe I will go with Vampire Counts. Might be the first one out to try out Old World, and even though it's not in the
No,
army book,
the main.
it get a PDF and I get that experience.
Yeah, I'm still gonna play Skaven, but
Yep.
I'm thinking about like bringing Beastmen back, because as I said before, I'm hoping for good scenarios in the books, something that's kind of narrative.
Yeah.
And then Beastman is, in all the books, they were so fun. It's like a herd of chaos mutated stuff that just wants to eat other stuff.
Their lore is very dark. Like
Yeah.
exceptionally dark. Andre, you sometimes mention that the goblins have grim dark aesthetics and lore, but man, Beastman.
Both of them are super grim dark. I can recommend anybody who wants to have an experience to read the Skarsnik book.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark. Your army for Old World?
Kind of want to like revitalize my Dogs of War project. Like I'm hoping that there is some like segue into like Empire, Regiments of Renown.
Yeah, there might
so
be.
I kind of want to paint them up as an Empire. Kind of want to explore Bretonia a bit as well. Kind of like the aesthetics of them. And we only have one Bretonia player in our gaming group.
But we're gonna fix that soon, right?
I hope so. But it depends on like what happens. Let's see. But regarding Vampire Counts that you mentioned, I think that they are very strategical about lining up the story arc for them. Because if you look at the like new upcoming article that was released just yesterday or the day before that, they have the new interactive map on the old world. Have you had time to check it out?
Just briefly.
Yeah.
Just check that. You sent. I don't know where I saw it. I saw the homepage and I didn't think that I could do much there. But you said you could do
there's
some
lots,
things
like
with the
you
map.
get all of the what's included in the upcoming box releases, and you also get the map where you can drag around, click certain locations or like heraldry, and get some short stories about the factions and potential lords
And it was something about vampire counts there.
There's definitely like overlaps between Bretonia and vampire counts, I would say. There are very clear like nods to certain lores in vampire counts from the Bretonia. Like there's this character called Harkon. He has a very he's one of the blood dragons, and he has this like red cup with blood droplets, and he's far in the east. And there are other things that are lining up with vampire counts and the Bretonia having some kind of connection.
I didn't play. I haven't played 6th edition, but I have read the army book for vampire counts in 6th edition, and I must say that the army books in 6th edition is the best army books.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't played them, it's the best army books. And old world hints on having like different compositions. So if you buy this book, you get this composition. That's something I'm really hopeful about, that you have the same kind of
overlaps,
fluff to the army. So if I go bloodline, I get some bloodline lord, and I get some specific rules for being that. And
there used to be that in vampires, right?
Yeah, there's the 6th edition books. You have the different tiers,
Yeah,
or the different families.
exactly.
Karstein, and depending on which one you pick, you get some difference between them, and I think that's super cool.
I'm really hoping that they go that direction, because there definitely looks to be a story arc where we are exploring like the more like unhonorable aspects of Bretonia. You have on the map you can click around, and there are like mentions of lords that have abandoned their vows and fled far away, and there's like this one duke that has fled like all the way to the east to the World's Edge Mountains, like far away from good old Bretonia. And there's another that has like something, the Betrayer in the name, so really lining up for some grim dark sides of Bretonia that we haven't explored in the past. I mean, like Bretonia is nasty when you think about it, how they treat the peasants, how they...
Yeah.
They've been, I think it's not uncommon that Bretonian lords or Bretonian paladins go away to other lands, because there's some story where there's also a character from Far East. He has, so one duke goes to Araby, and he conquers an empire there, but he becomes friend with lord or whatever from that country, and bring him back to Bretonia, and so you can play him. And I have that model, but I don't remember what he's called. Someone enlighten us. But so I think it's not uncommon that Bretonia do such quests.
Yeah, and I think like now is the perfect time to check out that map and like scroll around, try to find the basis for like what kind of themed army am I gonna start collecting, start painting. And there's like nice heraldry to like get inspired from. So I kind of liked it. And also you get like all the box contents from the upcoming releases. So
Yeah, there's a lot of information on the website.
Yeah. But before we head into like the last segment of the podcast, I kind of want to ask you if you have any New Year's resolutions for the upcoming year. Martin, have you thought anything about what you're going to pledge yourself to?
I should have seen this coming, but I didn't. The thing, if we were thinking Warhammer-wise, I'm gonna finish up my gaming room. Like that's my number one priority now, just to get things organized and be able to invite people to games that are not in a dusty workshop.
Yeah.
Like a nice, clean, well-lit, warm room. That's my first priority. And then I've been thinking about expanding my Warriors of Chaos army during the year, but I'm
that
looking
would be
for
a fitting solution. New Year's
Resolution.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna promise anything because it all depends.
5,000 points.
Yeah, it all depends on.
And the Citadel of Chaos.
Yeah, that's not done. You gotta keep up now because we're gonna shade together to get the uniform stuff.
Is that my resolution?
Could it be? You don't
You,
want to start a new army, so that it should be. And you have your gaming room.
But I'm still painting. Okay, I say that my New Year resolution is getting all Tomb Kings done. And maybe the Citadel.
Yeah, maybe the Citadel.
I don't like painting
Scenery.
scenery. No, it's not my favorite. I have so much scenery. I'm a little bit ashamed about that. That's my.
Yeah, but we have tried to find the easiest way to paint the Citadel, so it's not
Yes.
difficult. It's just a lot. There's like a lot of area to paint to cover, no matter how you do it with pen or.
My
with
painting tips to scenery is sheet.
Yeah.
But
Because
you have an like air compressor on airbrush.
Yeah, but I think we've done what we can with the airbrush. Now it's. Yeah, we even
picking out the
we even
skulls
went with spray can
Yeah.
because the castle is the Citadel
Enormous.
is huge.
But
I pick Tomb Kings as my
Tomb
resolution.
Kings as yeah.
And you said Warriors of Chaos, right?
I'm leaning towards it. I want to expand it. I really like the monopose warriors. They're so beautiful when they're lined up.
The 4th edition ones, like the short.
No, like the
kinda
regular
think that
plastic
they're- okay,
with the
they're-
capes. Yeah,
yeah,
they're beautiful.
They are
No,
really. Like,
Yes, they look
like
super.
they
hard.
nailed the
and
design
their
of them.
chariots look fun to paint.
Yeah,
with
they're
the
kinda
War
like,
beasts.
Yeah,
chariot.
with the gorilla-looking thing in
That's the
front
gorilla
and
like
so
a
on.
bit of like Lord of the Rings aesthetics to it. I
Yeah,
think.
sort
like
of.
Heavy Uruk-hai armor plates. and-
Yeah, so if I get my hands on the models, I will try at least. Because I don't think I'm gonna start a brand new army.
Yeah. You could do the 7 model army that Mons had pitched.
No, that's a hard pass for me.
We do we get to pick the New Year resolution for Jonas?
Pick.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think I can manage. Like,
Well,
if you
We can make wishes.
We are living in a democracy, so we could do a
We
vote.
could. Now that Mons isn't here, we should.
Yeah, we could
Pass
also
up
vote
your-
for what Mon's New Year's resolution should be.
No, but what's your plans?
I'm gonna empty my pile of shame. I'm either gonna sell it or paint it. Like at the end of
Oh,
2024.
that's harsh.
Sell it or paint it.
Sell it or paint it. Like,
Dibs on buying.
ouch.
He has a lot of dogs of war. He's gonna be.
Oh.
Yeah,
No, but
I've actually like made an investment. I've
Yeah, that's the right word.
no,
I
but
sold
like,
two
painting.
kidneys.
I've actually also like for my Christmas present for myself, I also bought an airbrush. So I think that's
Oh.
in my mind, it's the solution to every problem I have.
It's
It's gonna be so easy to paint everything.
yeah, it's speeding up things.
Yeah, like and not having to bring all the models that I want to prime outside, prime them in the garage, and then bring
That's
them back.
also a mental barrier.
Yeah, like there's one additional step to line things up. Now I just have my setup, and I'm gonna place them there. Then I can like work them on batch wise. So I'm gonna finish my pile of shame or sell it.
I hope you
and
finish
if you're
it.
closing up on November, let me know. Then we can do a
Yeah, wheeler deal it.
We
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
we
not
have to,
really
We
deal.
have to start a discussion with the bank.
no, yeah. But I would say like if we gather up, what do you say? Roll up our sleeves
Yeah.
and just invade your basement and paint the shit out of your models.
I have a hard time lending out models for paint if it's supposed to be my army.
Yeah. I also need to be like if
It-
it's
it-
mine, I need to have painted it.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that way.
I
So
have at least 2 units that are not painted at all.
Yeah, I do too.
Between that's
And I
over
want to sell
4
them.
or 5 armies, but
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
like one thing to commission painting. Like if I commission a unit because I know that someone is good at painting and they can
Yeah.
get it in the style I want, I could possibly live with it. But when I'm like buying things from other people, I like always ask them, "Are you okay with me like putting your army in like a
Bath.
bucket of?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we built the Throg army and you built the small ones, goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since they are sold together, me and Andre often splitted the larger batches, and I took the trolls and you took the goblins.
Yep.
And I got some trolls that were beautiful. I'm talking grade A, 5 out of 5.
Okay. Yeah.
And I felt horrible dipping them in black. That was
I have some of them, and I haven't repainted them.
no, I have, and that sucked.
But I think I have 4 of them, because I bought them back or something.
something like
4 of them.
But there was from one guy that was specifically like even small dots on every mushroom and lines on the. It was insane and lacquered in different textures. Like everything was perfect. So I fought once and twice before I dipped them.
Yeah, I kind of put it off to the very end. Like this is the next thing I need to paint, then I'm gonna clean it. Or like if I know that it has like coatings, then I perhaps like prepare it earlier and all that. But
I can take a model and like push it to my theme. So if I have a model that is decently painted and the only thing that's wrong is the cape, I paint the cape and then keep it. But I don't. So I don't repaint everything if I can.
You want to be pragmatic. You don't want to waste time rebuilding it to almost the same thing.
but that's some like pretty good New Year's resolutions, I would say. But to top it off, I kind of want to give the listeners out there a chance to gauge your nerdiness. So I have prepared some questions regarding the lore. And Andre, I kind of want to test you on your knowledge of the vampire counts. Since you are painting the Blood Knights, can you actually name some of the characters that have formed the order that the Blood Knights make out of?
No. Isn't that no, I can't
There's
name.
like think of like certain like nemesises of Bretonia, like some of the iconic.
No, I can't name any specific vampire counts. I haven't quite gotten to that lore. So I read more about what you call the
Tomb Kings.
Tomb Kings, or when Neferata, but it's the book about he's a super powerful wizard who makes an oh my god,
It's far in.
Torment.
You bought him for me.
Nagash.
Yeah. If you play a battle report, if you do anything and you put a camera in front of your face, remembering stuff is hard.
Yeah.
But I read the Nagash books, so it's more like I thought that Nagash was vampire counts, but he's not vampire counts.
Unrelated.
He is a Tomb King.
Okay.
And the Tomb Kings hate him too, so he's
all by myself.
Popular guy.
Yeah, popular guy.
But you're gonna edit this podcast, so you can just cut directly to the end of the question. And put in Nagash.
The bloodline.
smart.
The bloodline. I don't think I know none of the characters.
You would have gotten points for mentioning either Abarash, either one of the Harkon family, Valak being the most prominent fighter, or the Red Duke.
Red Duke, I could have guessed. But that's also an issue, because they are not that much in 8th edition books.
No. They're fluff from
the
like bits and
Karstein.
pieces.
The Karstein family is represented in 8th edition.
Yeah, I
but
think
not so
the
much of the-
Red Duke might have his own lore or like novel written.
Something about the Red Duke.
But Valak is a great name, easy to remember. That's a castrated male horse.
Yep.
In Swedish, at least.
He spells it with a W.
Yeah.
Valach. Or
Close.
Double castrated.
Yeah.
Martin.
Sack and shaft and everything.
Or plugged.
Martin, I kind of appreciate that you are like collecting and expanding your variety of armies. You have High Elves, you moved into Skaven, you have your Norska, but as far as I reckon, your main army is still the Beastman, so I kind of want to test you on some of these special characters there. So I've lined up a couple of names, and I want you to tell me whether these ones are made up or if they are actual Beastman characters.
Yeah.
Like, the first one is Slug Tongue, and this one is a decomposing wreck of a creature. He has like a shamanistic form, but his skull is like completely eaten and rotten away, so he just has like this carcass sticking out of his head, and he is foaming with like lice, roaches, worms, and he spreads famine and pestilence wherever he roams. Slug Tongue.
Yeah, he's a real character.
Real character.
I think the German Beastman player in Falun had him. He moves up and everyone takes damage.
Yeah,
right.
36 inches.
Yeah,
correct. This one, Moonclaw, a maniac Bray shaman that isn't born from, like, he is born from an egg that fell from Morslib, a meteor that fell from the sky.
No, he's not.
Actually, a real character.
Moonclaw.
Yeah, he is born from the moon Morslib. And he's been around for quite some editions. Like, he rides a Fiendic steed, causes madness wherever he roams.
Does he have a model?
No.
No, I don't think he has. I might be incorrect about that. But I've never
No,
seen
I
him.
don't think
he might.
he has
I
model.
mean, the
think
lore.
But now that you mention it, I know there's something with one of the moons. Morslib is a moon, right?
Yeah. The green ominous moons of. And wherever it.
I stand corrected,
Okay.
but I was certain that it was made up.
Final one, Gorthor. This is a beast lord that supposedly roams the forests of Hochland, and very much akin to like the orcs, because the beastmen don't seldom rally together and form warbands. He has the power to like rally up the troops and actually form like beastman campaigns. And at one point he even threatened Hochland, and he captured like huge areas of the Middle Mountains.
What was the name again?
Gorthor.
If you made him up, it's a really good name, but I think he is real.
It's actually real.
Yeah.
So all of them are, and I kind of wanted you to like because you mentioned that the Beastmen have kind of good characters. Do you have any favorite ones to top it off with?
I think it is the Malagor, the Dark Omen. I think it's the character that he eats up his own units and casts out the chaos spawns.
Okay.
I think it's Malagor or another name, but there is one character that eats up the closest unit, one of them, and on our 4+ he gains a chaos spawn. That's a favorite. I always wanted to play him, but it's
like all of the Beastman
pushing
lords
400 points.
Yeah, they are so expensive.
Yeah.
But all of them are really, really fun. I kind of wish that the old world is filled with that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Both lore-wise and like
and they
game-wise.
don't have to have super strong rules. I would rather have a decent pointed with one fun rule. There is one character that makes for rerolls of ambush table. That's a good rule. You can pick in a character and build an army around that one rule. But I don't want him to cost 400 points.
Yeah, so that it's like...
I would rather have a weak dude with one fun special rule to pivot the army.
Yeah, that isn't like safely overcosted.
No.
Yeah. But since we don't have Mons, I can't ask him the question, but perhaps there are other viewers out there that has questions to us. order, Martin?
I haven't seen any
No.
direct questions really, but we had some interesting discussions on our last podcast where we ranked the broken units.
Yeah, that was
And
a pretty fun episode to make.
It was a lot of discussions, but we ended up with Doomfire Warlocks being the worst. But we got tips. There was one guy mentioned the Demon Prince with Demonic Flight and Nurgle, Mark of Nurgle or Demon Prince of Nurgle. And you can kit him out pretty hefty. Level 4 wizard with fly, -1 to hit and everything. So he's strong. I play him in my army, but people that know what he does know how to handle him as well.
He also rather expensive.
Yeah, 500 plus
Yeah.
points.
So I feel if you have, if you're up in the 500 points range,
Yeah,
they are supposed to be nasty.
yeah, and
They
it's
are.
kind of
And
like
he is nasty.
it's kind of game breaking when you lose that.
Yeah.
Because if you lose that model, then you basically lost the game.
Yeah.
Because all of your fancy special rules, tactics, and all what goes away.
Yeah, I lost him in my first Magic phase, my last game.
Yeah, that's fun. I've done it
Yeah.
with
Horrible.
Siege Army and
Horrible.
Demon Prince. Thrown into the chaos.
Yeah, it wasn't even a
Prince of
miscast.
Chaos. Not even a
No,
miscast.
I managed something initiative of Purple Sun, I think.
Yeah, purple
Oh,
sun.
purple
But then I
Sun, yeah.
misfired on the
But
range.
Yeah, you put it
you
on
put-
yourself.
So I have to roll initiative 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has like 6.
I rolled a 6.
Yep.
So that's the first thing that happened, my first spell. And it was against Chaos Dwarfs, and I had him lined up through almost all the units. Because he flew up, through the 2 main units and I think
Okay.
1 war machine. So it was perfect, but it was the worst thing ever.
It's one in our group that can do such a thing, and that's you.
Yeah. And I've
Dice
done it
man.
many times. But there were also some discussions about the Hell Cannon. Because I had it on my list, but I picked it out quite early. But there were some discussions in the comments about if you can move it or not, if you can pivot it or not.
Yeah,
It's since it's not a war machine, you can't pivot him while you shoot.
yeah. Anacron is always there to help out
So
these like special tricky rules.
That's like a argument for saying that he's not as powerful as you might think, because
You can't freely
it's a
pivot.
little bit harder to play him.
Yeah, you need to think about where you place him in deployment, and if the opponent knows about this rule, you can almost always find something to shoot at.
Yeah.
But you can always, like, as the opposing player, then opt to like make sure that your important units are outside of his firing arc.
Yeah.
So that he has to shoot at something suboptimal.
I can
Yeah, so you have to
testify-
think of him as a stone thrower.
Yeah.
He can only fire in his forward arc. Otherwise, he has to pivot and then he can't shoot. So that
Yeah.
would trickle him down from my list pretty fast. But even there was also, we had some discussions yesterday as well about the White Lions with Banner of the World Dragon and Alariel in a horde. And hearing Niklas talk about it, it sounds
Super
horrible.
disgusting.
So I would say that combination should be up in a broken unit with all the stacks they get. I would say it's up sniffing top 10 at least.
We have never played, like, you have White Lions, but I don't think you
No,
have
just
that many.
run them in
like
a unit of 20.
Yeah, like when you bring them in units of 40, and then you also add in, like, they basically become Phoenix Guards on steroids with
Yeah.
Alariel.
I think that's the
that sounds
thing with
super broken.
that's the thing with Warhammer, that because something is broken in one community, it isn't
Broken
sure
in every.
broken in our community. In our community, it's not broken because nobody plays it, but it's different metas in different groups, and that's one of the pointers to go and play in a tournament, because then you get to see other kind of play styles, other kind of armies.
Even reading the comp, reading Triple Crown, reading Swedish comping. So if something is hard comped and you read the rules and you don't get it, they're most likely
is a reason
comped
for it.
together with another,
Yeah,
It's
another
probably a
play style
stacking
in
thing.
mind.
yeah, a stacking thing with, she is horrible, but you have to have her in the right unit. Because her buffs plays well with this unit.
Still,
I felt that with Triple Crown and Chaos Dwarf, and that's why I picked Chaos Dwarfs. Because when I read the comp, like my favorite units, plus comp, I made it so they are not so tough. They didn't get penalized because I don't know, because
they might cost much.
either with that or I don't play with cheesy units, but I didn't think that I wasn't penalized for picking units I like.
Yeah, but like you kind of like the demon engine, right?
Yeah, it's super fun.
Super fun, but it costs like 300 points.
250.
Yeah,
Still
and like
Unbreakable.
yeah,
It
but you can
lots
get
of
a
wounds.
steam tank for that, and I think the steam tanks is even worse.
No,
Like,
I don't think so.
Steam tank is 300 points, I think.
No,
Yeah.
it's 250, right?
So it's the same, but I think the I think the
I think
demon
steam
engine.
tanks is worse.
No, I think the demon engine is better than steam tank. I really do.
Okay, but steam tank has so much
That's,
versatility.
But I can't-
That's for another time.
That's a
I
fun.
think.
Yes, okay, another debate, but I think it's better.
But so there were no direct questions, but I would like to, because we're gonna talk about our 2024. Other than if we're talking about personal goals and so on, I'm thinking about the channel. We had some discussions earlier today with Mons. What are we gonna do in 2024? We have a rough idea how we want to work with the channel.
Yeah.
And what is our plan? How's our schedule looking for 2024?
We kind of have like the tournaments that you mentioned earlier. So obviously we're gonna try to capture as much content out of that as we possibly can. Like I don't know how we make the London GT work, but it would be fun to get some footage from there. Perhaps have a camera that is able to capture some of our games.
Yeah.
And get a feeling of the atmosphere and how it is to play there. It would be really fun to film some more games from Fallen. I kind of like the live stream that we did over there.
And that's gonna be a thing as well. We talked to Niklas yesterday, and I am most likely trying to handle that part.
That would
this
be
year as
super
well.
fun to
Yeah.
have.
But
One of the miscasters.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like the channel, as we are working now, the channel is not our main focus. We have a small amount of time relatively. So we try to put out a video a week, mix it up with a podcast and a battle report, and we want to have a few longer battle reports, not unedited but full length. And the shorter format is more prevalent. But
Yeah, but I really like when you handheld the camera and you get the player's perspective, you get to see the dice being rolled, and you get everything captured on screen. But like as you mentioned, it's not like logistically feasible for us to do that. So we try to mix it up with some shorter, some longer.
But I wanted to ask the people listening what you want to see more of. We have a list of stuff that we're trying to improve, like the shots of the units, and being more expressive, more illustrative in our
the comment I've seen is that some of the comments have said that they want to have movement filmed. So when we do a battle report, they want us to film the movement, and I can agree that that's such an important step that it shouldn't be summarized. We should actually film while we move units, even in the shorter format. And I almost see that the longer format, we have more talk about each other, our general stuff. I almost want to have that into the podcast. So the podcast is the
summary
shit show.
Of the
No, like
but when we can summarize everything.
Talk about everything, and then we have when we play the game, we focus on that game. Yeah. That's how I see it. And if the viewers feel different or feel the same or any feedback, we are happy to read it. And I started to do something stupid. I have been going through the comments because since I've been started to become part of the channel and part of producing content, I also got access to our YouTube, this YouTube studio, and I've been going through comments, and you can see like the old comments that haven't been responded to yet. So I've started to go back.
I kind of figured that they were going away.
And I'll be like, oh my god, I need to respond. So if some of you started to get a response, even though it's like 6 months ago or a year ago, it's because I've been going back in the log, because it's so annoying when you go in and you see you have a new comment, but the comment is like 6 months away.
Okay. Oh, my OCD.
That's my OCD. OCD have kicked in.
But it's very appreciated. I feel like, because we got asked recently what's our goal with the channel. I think we were a bit stunned because we haven't really got the goal. We just on the spot we landed in. We like the interactions, like the connections we get with the community, with people watching, and it's fun to play. But recording it, and I've heard someone say the best way to get help is to express something wrong on the internet. So it might be that we are screaming for help to play the game, but the interactions with the viewers is
I'm not
the best part.
Claiming that we are like experts at the game.
No,
we find mistakes every time we meet up. There are some new rules, interaction that we haven't figured out. But man, we have been helped so much from the comments.
Incredible.
When we started out, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are without all the rules help. So that's probably one of the best interactions.
Definitely.
Like the whole trope about internet being like a bunch of angry keyboard dojo warriors isn't really true when it comes to the Warhammer community.
No, but we still need your help. What do you want to see? What are we missing out? You said we have to film the movement. I've read a comment we have to be better at filming the units to display them. There is always room for improvement, and we want to be not the best in the world. It's a high ceiling, but we want to improve all the time. So I
would like to have a perfect game. One game that no rules have been
I still remember our first game where we didn't look in a book once. And then we had played for 5 years. And we didn't have to check out a rule once in a game. We probably did a lot of mistakes. But we were certain together. This is the way it works. But that's 5 years of playing.
But we were also like playing the same army many times in a row. And we played against each other. So we started to, these specific rules and these things happens because we
could remind each other.
So there we were pretty close. But the thing happens when you have a new army or have an interaction between two specific armies. There's rules that happens that only happens between two armies. And there lies the problem.
But I'm thinking about, we have the old world around the corner. So we are going to focus largely on that. And try to maneuver into the game and see where it ends up. And we would be thankful for tips. What do you want to see? What armies do you want to play? I know we haven't had dwarfs a lot. We have caves dwarfs, but there are some factions that we are missing.
We have all armies, so
sort of.
If we do have all armies. If the only army we don't own, we can borrow. That's the dwarves.
Kind of should invite at least Mille or one of the guys from Dixon.
Definitely.
We have all armies. So if there a specific wish on a specific battle report between two armies, it's doable.
I know would probably be like a good idea for the channel as well. If someone wants to watch a certain matchup, we can make it happen.
Or a certain list in an army, because there are some armies that have named lists, sort of.
Kind of like the
Vanguard dwarfs and Lion Star.
Strollas.
So we would love to get what do you want to see and in what format do you want to see it.
And then you can point out any mistakes that we make.
Yeah, don't stop.
Yeah,
that,
don't stop with
please.
the.
We like all the comments, and that's also why I would like to finish or answer all the questions we have ever gotten on the channel, so it's empty.
Okay.
I had one more follow-up on 2024 about the old world. We are going to play it a lot, hopefully.
Yeah, ideally it's gonna be one of those lightning in a bottle scenarios where all of the like various Warhammer fractions, like 6th edition people, get together with 9th age, get together with 8th edition, get together with new people, and you have this clash of different communities. New player, experienced old players, and you get like that interaction between people who can bring their own like metal models from the 80s and say, when I started out we used to play it like this, and then you can mix it with the upcoming.
Yeah, there's a lot to be. I feel like there's a lot to be done regarding the old world.
Yeah, it has potential for sure.
But then we're back to square one regarding the rules. So
Yeah.
when the time comes, please help us
Andre's
again.
perfect game is
Yeah, it's far off now.
but maybe like first
we,
perfect game of the
we
old
will at least continue a couple of months just because of practice for 8th edition. So it's it's
we
not
still
out
have
of the
to.
door.
No.
Yeah, because London is 8th edition with Triple Crown.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
4 of 5 tournament, or is it 3 or 5 tournaments is 8th edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like super fun when you have the overlap. Like what is good about, because you kind of see it more clearly when you have like the comparison right ahead of you. Like when we started playing WAP, it was so apparent what was like problematic about the magic phase in 8th edition.
Yeah.
And what things were problematic in WAP when we like went back to 8th edition.
Yeah, going parallel is it's hard, but it's
like it's an
you get
eye-opener.
perspective.
Yeah, you get perspective.
I would say one thing we probably will analyze once we get our hands on the game is how would this match end up if we played it in 8th?
Yeah.
What would be the big differences in what favor did it fall?
Yeah.
I see maybe in half a year or something there's an episode, or at least like a podcast kind of episode, where we compare the games we know, WAP, 8th, and
Yeah,
Old
definitely.
World.
Yeah. And hopefully we can bring some kind of insights that help other people out. Like this
Which
is
to
how we
pick.
used to play it, and therefore we think that this new unit in the old world is good. Possibly.
Possibly.
What do you think about basing on bigger bases?
No.
I have one question about that. One thing that, like, we know that they're gonna release movement trace, so that it fixes like the base
The
sizes.
20 to 25.
Yeah. But ever since we started going to tournaments, we figured out that unit fillers is a really good thing to have.
It is.
How do you fix unit fillers into the expanded movement trace?
They
You
will
carve
just-
away the cross.
But it's not gonna line up. Like, how do you fix unit fillers into?
You have to
the
do
new-
a trade where you can actually.
Yeah.
You have to do a tray where you can fit the unit fillers.
Okay, because I see people on the internet are lining up for this new like nifty like expansion like. But I really want to see someone like nail this whole like if you have like a unit of like 20 models and you have a unit filler that is 2x4, how do you fit that into the new?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
gonna
way.
be
If
an
you
issue.
have, yeah, that's an issue.
that's
Yeah.
an issue. And unit fillers are actually much cooler than not having them.
Yeah,
If you do
I
a
think
unit
so.
filler good way, it's
Ca-
super fun.
kind of think that it's one area that Games Workshop haven't dipped their toes in, like adding cool unit fillers to units.
There might be, because it's looking like on the spruce, there are a lot of extra parts,
Yeah,
like
But-
back in the days.
yeah, and that's a good thing. Like I'm
Yeah.
really optimistic about
Yeah,
that.
so that opens the door Because my unit fillers are spare parts. Because you want to have the feeling, the ambience of the army in the unit filler.
Yeah.
If you get one wish of the new old world, what would it be? One wish. I know mine.
I know mine.
I'm kind of like, I hope that it's like economically feasible for anyone to start collecting it. I'm not saying it's going to be a great affair, but like if you look at Horus Heresy, which I think is a super cool game, I would like to start it out, but it's kind of expensive if you're going to buy all the shoulder pads, the helmets,
Yeah.
and then all of the like tanks that they are churning out. I kind of want the old world to be like open for like a budget.
Horus Heresy is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So wishful budget thinking from my part.
I know my wish for the new old world, and I've said it before, but I want new scenarios with different ways of scoring. They can, I think they have a lot to win by offering. In 8 you have the differences with the terrain that can impact the games a lot. I'm hoping they keep that and bring some new scenarios to the table in the rulebook.
I'm gonna sound like a complete hypocrite because what I said earlier in the podcast. But please reprint some of the old terrain.
So that you can get
Give me some old terrain, because I don't. If you go on to Games Workshop homepage right now and you look at what terrain do they have?
but they have some cool stuff.
No, they
like Warcry
don't.
has pretty good stuff.
Yeah, but you can't. No.
Okay.
I would say they have
Agree
good
to
stuff.
disagree.
I
think
disagree.
Warcry
They
has-
have junk you can put on the table.
Junk.
They have some junk you can put on the table.
Okay,
and
you want the big wizard towers.
oh
and
my
The fortified
God.
manor is
Oh
that
my
would be a given in a
God.
box.
Yeah.
there's some cool terrain that they could reprint. It would just bring them money like I don't know what. But I agree. There's one Warcry table, but that one is out of print.
Okay.
So or not out of, you can't buy it. And they have a newer Warcry table that's not quite as good. So if you were to check explicitly now, I challenge to find
Okay,
something that
okay.
is actually good.
There is this one like Warcry box. I'm a bit on a rant here, I feel, but it has like an incarnate beast of some sort. Kind of want to buy it just because of that and make an incarnate of elemental of death.
A beast on it.
Yeah, it's like an incarnate elemental, and there's some elven tower that's leaking water, and
I know what. Oh.
and it's like some skeletons. Like that one looks pretty good. You get some wall ruins.
I think there are some good parts,
Yeah.
but there could be more. Fortified manor is
yeah, but
in high
nothing
demand.
nothing
Fortified
commands to
manor.
Fortified manor.
Yeah, Wizard's Tower. I don't know what's it's like a
Like
dark
the
Wizard's
wooden
Tower.
forest, just.
The forests. It's so
oldies
much of
but goldies.
Yeah.
oldest, but they're so beautiful.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was in Stockholm and I played a game of Underworlds, and one of the players there, he had this beautifully painted warband with the like wood elf forest, like as like terrain pieces for his. So neat, like Warcraft 3 aesthetics. Look,
Oh,
yeah, like really cool.
but I think that's all we have. We've made some empty promises, and we've sort of planned out, and we have asked for help.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have much more today, if I'm not mistaken. So I would like to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Yeah.
Probably next year.
Next year.
2024.
Have a good year.